Yes, twists and turns that we have witnessed, and yet another update, viewers. Devendra Fadnavis has now said that he would agree to become the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. That has just come in as fresh information. Meanwhile, in a dramatic turn of events, Thane MLA Eknath Shinde will take oath as the new CM of Maharashtra in about half an hour from now. This announcement came as a major twist in the tale, as it was assumed that BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis will return to the throne and avenge the coup with a coup for what happened in 2019 when he took oath as the CM and served the shortest stint ever, thanks to Sharad Pawar's NCP pulling the rug from under his feet and toppling his government. Today's announcement was made during a joint press briefing by Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis after meeting Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari. Now, we are told that only Eknath Shinde will take oaths and the cabinet expansion will happen later. New cabinet will have ministers from Shinde and the BJP, and as I just mentioned, Mr. Fadnavis likely to now become the Deputy CM. So we'll have an expert panel with us here today to discuss the important implications of the announcements made. But first, let's listen in to the statements that came in.
देवेंद्र जी ने अभी यहाँ पर कहा कि हम लोग बाला साहब ठाकरे जी के शिव सैनिक को समर्थन दे रहे हैं। ये उनके दिल का बहुत बड़प्पन है। ऐसा कभी कोई करता नहीं जिसके पास 120 विधायक है, जिसके पास 120 विधायक होने के बावजूद ऐसा कोई ग्राम पंचायत और नगर सेवक का पद भी नहीं छोड़ता है। ये तो मुख्यमंत्री पद है। जो विश्वास भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने हमारे जो 50 विधायक है उनके ऊपर जताया है, आदरणीय पंतप्रधान महोदय जी ने, आदरणीय केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री महोदय जी ने, भारतीय जनता पक्ष के अध्यक्ष उन्होंने जो विश्वास जताया है उसको निश्चित रूप से हम लोग सार्थ करने की कोशिश करेंगे।
एकनाथ शिंदे जी के साथ शिवसेना जो है, शिवसेना के नेता के रूप में आज उन्होंने मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए अपना क्लेम माननीय राज्यपाल जी को दिया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे गुट ने उनको पूरा समर्थन दिया। हमारे 106 और उसके साथ साथ उनके साथ और हमारे साथ जो इंडिपेंडेंट्स और छोटी पार्टियां हैं, इन सभी के समर्थन का पत्र आज हमने सौंपा है और गवर्नर साहब ने श्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी को 7:30 बजे शपथ के लिए न्योता दिया है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्रीय टीम ने इस बात को तय किया है कि देवेंद्र जी को सरकार में आना चाहिए और सरकार में पदभार संभालना चाहिए, और इसलिए देवेंद्र जी से व्यक्तिगत रूप में भी आग्रह किया है और केंद्र ने इस बात को निर्देशित किया है कि देवेंद्र जी उप मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर के रूप में कार्यभार संभालें।
Let me go across to my colleagues Ketan Vaidya and Abhishek joining me on the latest developments. Ketan, coming to you first. Let's begin with the latest. We hear now that Devendra Fadnavis has agreed to be the Deputy CM. Can you confirm this news for us? Because prior to that, he said that I will not be a part of the government. Members of the BJP will be there in the new Sena BJP combined government. What's the latest, Ketan?
Well, Afrida, it's not the rain. It's raining cats, dogs, and surprises in Mumbai today. Because 2 hours back, Devendra Fadnavis takes a PC and announces Eknath Shinde as the next chief minister. He is the leader of the rebel camp. And just a while ago, the president of BJP, JP Nadda, says that I have requested I have requested Devendra Fadnavis to be the part of the government. And then a while ago, he again tweets that he has kindly accepted my gesture and he has decided to be the part of the government as the deputy chief minister. So what is going on? It's beyond anyone's imagination, because Devendra Fadnavis is the strongest leader in the Maharashtra BJP today. He has been the chief minister of the state twice. A second attempt failed. So he was chief minister for barely a few hours, and and now one sees that he is becoming a part of the government. So will the deputy chief minister be strong? The leader of the party, having 106 MLAs, is the deputy chief minister, and the leader of the rebel camp, with the support of 50 MLAs, is the chief minister. So
Yes.
it requires no guess to understand who's stronger in the bargain.
Absolutely. Let's go to Abhishek as well. Abhishek, what happens to the Shiv Sena as a party? It seems as if the BJP has subsumed a large section of the Shiv Sena. Will it retain its name, its legacy, or has it now become, in some way part of the BJP camp?
Firstly, I would like to show you the visuals. These are the visuals from the Raj Bhavan, and the oath-taking ceremony. The final stage of preparation is going on. You can see senior leaders of BJP are arriving out here. And in the next half an hour, the oath-taking ceremony will start, and as directed by JP Nadda, we might see even Devendra Fadnavis taking oath as a deputy chief minister also. And to the point you raised, I would like to tell you one thing for sure. When Devendra Fadnavis was addressing the media, he clearly said that Mr. Eknath Shinde is a Shiv Sainik and we share the same ideology, and that's the reason we want to give support as an entire BJP to the Shiv Sena, which is now led by Eknath Shinde, and to make him the Shiv Sainik. So definitely, as far as the BJP and Shiv Sena is concerned at the moment, the BJP is eyeing out Eknath Shinde to be the original Shiv Sena to whom they have extended support. So definitely there
Question
is
we are
nothing
going to
as
ask today,
one party
Abhishek, is has Mr. Uddhav Thackeray been left out in the cold? Let me introduce, joining us here on the program on the Big Focus this evening, Aarti Sathe, spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP, Anurag Chaturvedi, senior journalist, and Chandrasekhar Jha, leader of the Shiv Sena. Aarti Sathe, can I put that question to you, that it's literally like leaving Mr. Uddhav Thackeray out in the cold. His party has been usurped. His father's legacy has been appropriated. What do you make of the latest developments, Aarti Sathe?
I think there's nothing much to be made out of the latest development. I think what is a very clear thing that has happened in the last few days and the last 8 to 9 days is that the 2019 elections, which the mandate was given for the Yuti of BJP Shiv Sena, that mandate today has become really victorious. That was the mandate for which people voted for. People never voted for unnatural alliances, which were there for the last 2.5 years and which were unfortunately
But why did the
misgoverning.
BJP choose to be the junior partner here? What is the game in that? Because if you're going by the mandate and if you're going by the book, then BJP had the larger numbers. Why Fadnavis is the deputy CM and Mr. Shinde is the CM then?
I think there is no question of being a junior or a senior partner in this. Yes, definitely, well, we have the larger number of seats. But the point here remains is that there has been deliberation on this issue. The central leadership clearly has a vision and they have taken these decisions. Mr. Fadnavis has made it very clear that in his press conference a couple of hours back that he is going to be supporting, BJP will be supporting this government. This deputy CM-ship, of course, is something which the central leadership
Or is it to ensure that this faction doesn't go anywhere? Is it to lock in this section of the Shiv Sena with the BJP so that there is no such rocking the boats that can happen
There's no
anymore?
question of locking. There's no question of locking in because they have rebelled on their own volition. There was nothing which we have done.
No, I was asking you, why give them the senior position, the senior partner? You are saying there is no senior junior, but very clearly, Eknath Shinde is the CM.
Deliberative process.
Eknath Shinde is the CM, not Mr. Fadnavis. Why so?
It's not about giving anybody anything. I think this is a part of a deliberative discussions which have taken place. In the rightness of things, the central leadership has taken the decision. The higher-ups in Maharashtra leadership of BJP have taken the decision. And the point that, to lock in the rebels is not the question. The rebels, or we won't even call them rebels at this point of time, they were people who were disgruntled by the way Shiv Sena was functioning. and they chose to walk out of the Shiv Sena of their own volition. It was not something that we've done. It is not something that anybody has pulled them out
Well, that
to
is
bring
open to
them into our
interpretation.
fold.
Let me tell you that, it would be too
but
much
it
of a
is-
coincidence for the rebel camp to first go to Surat and then go to Guwahati, and it's not lost on anyone right now that those are BJP ruled states so far. And then now to come to this climax where Devendra Fadnavis makes this announcement after saying a number of times that we are not involved, after Mr. Shinde saying that we are not joining hands with the BJP, things have turned. Let's at least accept that. Let me go across to Anurag Chaturvedi and Chandrasekhar Jha. To you first, Mr. Jha. What has happened here? It's not just a vertical split or anything of the Shiv Sena. It's literally BJP enveloping a large section of the Shiv Sena within its fold, and for all you know, annihilate and obliterate the very existence of the Shiv Sena. Your entire political existence is now at stake, you think, Mr. Jha?
See, the political stake which they claim at this moment also cannot be taken into consideration. The thing is that even after becoming the CM, they have to be responsible and affiliated with the party. Now the thing is that there is a disqualification, suspension. The things are eventually pending before the Supreme Court. These things have to be decided. And these things have to be decided. Then after the finality of this will come out. The thing remains is that every day the Maharashtra is seeing a surprise. What surprise? Today in the evening, announcements were made that BJP will support from outside. Now there is a demand that Mr. Fadnavis should become a deputy CM. Eventually, not becoming a CM, but a demotion to Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. Now a 50-member group is ruling BJP. They were telling that it's a cause for Hindutva. What kind of Hindutva they are following, it is unknown to everyone.
So you are saying that all of this, of course, it's a power game, and if Mr. Shinde should be given, if the BJP has conceded ground, why shouldn't Mr. Shinde take it? It's after all politics, and much as you might say that these are live visuals, viewers, on your screen. Mr. Eknath Shinde, after the announcement, is clearly celebrating. He probably has his family members, the younger members of the family with him, a child in his lap actually, and his supporters all around him right now. Here is the man of the moment who's just been announced as the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra. His oath taking is going to take place minutes from now. Pictures coming to you live from the Raj Bhavan. Prior to this, you heard a joint press briefing by Mr. Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis, where Mr. Shinde said that he is ready to take on the mantle as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Remember, here is a MLA who literally over the last 1 week held a camp, held the fort with rebel MLAs in Guwahati for over a week, and then lands up in Mumbai straight to the Raj Bhavan, where he addressed the media with the BJP leader, former CM Devendra Fadnavis, talking about how now it will be a Sena BJP combined government. This new government will be led not by Devendra Fadnavis but by Eknath Shinde. That was a big surprise move that came in. And also, of course, after first saying that Mr. Devendra Fadnavis will not be part of the government, later on the announcement came that he has agreed to be the Maharashtra Deputy CM. Those are the big developments that we are tracking here. Live pictures from the Raj Bhavan. We are standing by for the oath-taking ceremony to take place shortly. If I can go back to my panel, Anurag Chaturvedi, do you agree with what Mr. Chandrasekhar just said, that, the court verdict is still pending? There are matters related to jurisdiction, matters related to authority, and who gets the prerogative that has to be decided by the court. Are you still expecting any more surprises here, or you feel this is the climax?
I think surprises are coming from BJP and Shinde's camp rather than the court, because court is going to pronounce anything not before than 11th of July.
Yes.
So I feel that the Fadnavis becoming deputy CM is a very, very important development in this alliance government, because it will give legitimacy to Shinde Otherwise, Shinde was just puppet, and his rule was, I think, in doubt. So this is politically a very shrewd step from the center. Although Fadnavis has been downgraded, he's a senior leader, and I think some politics is also played at the center to downgrade him. Otherwise, the real claim should be by Fadnavis.
Yes.
And if you see in the hindsight, what Shiv Sena or Uddhav Thackeray was asking, they were asking for 5 years rule at that time in 2019. And Shiv Sena was not ready at that time. So why suddenly they are giving 5 years to Shiv Sena or Shiv Sena? Because they are saying the Shiv Sena, Shinde is not a factional leader, but he's a real Shiv Sena. So I have my doubt, but I think BJP is not a fickle-minded party. They have their plans, and this is a time-being arrangement. And after some time, either they will go for elections or they will. Fadnavis will become chief minister, because as you rightly said, that this is they want flock to be together. Otherwise, and the Shinde has done good bargaining, I feel, to become the chief minister. And the Sathe and Mr. Jha, their party. So the question of, because it looks like Ekta Kapoor serial now, because in never happened in any government formation that in 10 minutes or 5 minutes things are changing. In 1 week things are changing. So it's not a political drama. It has some. It has no legitimacy.
But Mr. Chaturvedi, constitutionally, will they stand the scrutiny of law? Just for clarity, now here is a rebel faction, a splinter group of smaller number who's now going to stake claim, or who's now going to be sworn in as the who lead the government, and Mr. Eknath Shinde will lead the government. But constitutionally, is this valid? Because we heard out of a number of experts, many believe that there is a clause where you have to then shed your party credentials, take a new name, merge with another party. Only then can you avert the anti-defection law. It's not sufficient to have the 2/3 number. Have they cleared that hurdle in this?
I don't think that they have cleared that hurdle, and that's why they have appointed Shinde as a chief minister. If some problems may arise from the courts, then they have argument that, okay, we tried our best. We are a good person. We are loyal to you. We have whatever we have promised to you. We have done, but the courts are not agree. So this is a step-gap arrangement also, I feel, and courts have to take cognizance of this entire development, because they have not merged with any party. So they are still in the doubt.
Yes.
And I think he may be the shortest chief minister also.
We never know. Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Anurag Chaturvedi, they're saying that you never know. There might be more surprises. Okay, Aarti Sathe, the answer to the question on why would the BJP do this? Earlier on, the whole deal with Shiv Sena did not work out because there was a half and half CM, rotational CM deal that did not go through. Now you've actually given the whole hog to Eknath Shinde. Practically, Shiv Sena in that sense gets all 5 years. Is it because the BJP is looking long term? It's being far-sighted at the moment. There is a master plan, to get complete political dominance in Maharashtra by annihilating a party like Shiv Sena?
I think we are reading too much into this. It's just happened. I don't think we need to have such a long vision at this point of time.
Okay.
At this point of time, all that we are really doing is we are getting back to the people what the mandate of 2019 was. And I'm not very sure if the 2.5 years was even agreed at the 2019 scheme. But let's not even get into that. Let's bury the past, and whatever has happened, I'm not going to revisit it. Today, what we are doing is, and as Mr. Fadnavis has also said, is really we are together as ideologically. We are giving a chance to the people who are carrying forward Honorable late Uddhav Thackeray's ideology of Hindutva, and we are working towards it. And that is what we are really espousing today by having Mr. Shinde as the CM. So to read into it at this point of time to say that we want to try to annihilate the Shiv Sena, or the BJP has a long-term plan, or the BJP is playing some political cards or shrewd cards. I think let's not get into all this debate. It's not something which we really need to do. We are only honoring what was meant to be honored 2.5 years back. I think that is the shortest and the sweetest and is the real answer which I would really like to give today on this show.
Okay, you are not letting us get into the controversial part of it. Fair enough. Mr. Chandrasekhar, would you agree that today Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is left out in the cold? He's an isolated man. He sees all of this happening in front of his eyes and, you know, all this rebellion brewing under his nose, and he was caught napping, and now look what happened.
See, my last words will be there are twists. And Shiv Sena always relies and shows how the twists are done. So at this moment, at this juncture, nothing is permanent. Let us see what the future comes and what are the results.
Okay, we'll have to leave it at that then. Well, very interesting perspectives from all three speakers, Aarti Sathe, Anurag Chaturvedi and Mr. Chandrasekhar. Thanks for joining us in this short conversation.
Thank you.
Let's take a short break. We'll be going live to Raj Bhavan very shortly to witness the oath-taking ceremony of Eknath Shinde. Let's take a short break and come right back.